This is just a varied box of options. Look, this one's from 1992. Look, brand new ad for the Alto Works. Oh yeah. 26. 2 containers in a row that have been in the pissing rain. Dun, 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 dun. Brilliant. Woo! You feeling it? We won't film too much of this one because it's dark, dreary, slightly depressing. But yeah, we're 40 foot from Japan. This is pretty cool. It's always nice to import something unusual in the containers, but there's a Japanese vending machine here that somebody imported. I think his name is Kenneth. Shout out to you for being an absolute legend. We're going to open this once we unload the container and we'll show you. It was a soggy one, and we're after starting to get addicted to buying magazines from Japan.
Majorly.
Really badly. The container has arrived, and now with every container we're addicted to buying magazines. As you can see here, it becomes quite addictive when you're sitting there looking at this stuff all day every day in Japan. So your goal is to own a JZX 100 in the next while.
Eventually.
And you're teasing yourself by buying all these magazines.
It's the only way. It's the only way to get motivated.
Yeah.
You'll soon see.
So the containers are fun, but now the containers are extra fun for us because with the last like 3 or 4 of them, we've all had parts or like magazines and stuff in them. I've obviously gotten completely carried away, which you will have seen by now with the videos over the last while during lockdown. Not really drinking a whole lot, not really going on holidays or doing anything. We've been trapped at home, so I'm using all my not so disposable income to buy as many magazines as I can from Japan. I don't really know why, to be honest. There's 23 of these or 22, so I bought the entire collection of these. I've always wanted these. I got a loan them off my friend Brian, and then he wanted them back, and I didn't want to give them. Well, I did want to give them back, but I wanted to own these, so I bought the full collection. I found them for a good price in Japan. Boom, more mags. So I bought these for the video option, or the option magazines. It's the G Corp S13. This is actually the magazine that caught my attention with this collection, but it's a nice collection of option 2s. Came with a Impreza Hyper Rev. Our friend Sean Keeley, he has a nice white 86. It's actually not too far from here, but with the last batch of magazines that I got from Japan, turns out his car is on the cover of this magazine before it came to Ireland. So I wrote to him and I said, hey, I found your car in Japan. So that's his 86. It used to look like this, a wine coloured car. I'll actually put some pictures up here in the video, but it's really cool. The car came to Ireland like that. All the stickers are taken off it, and it's painted white and it got restored. But I was just looking through my collection of magazines and I found his car on the cover. So he asked me kindly to track down this magazine so he could keep it because it has his car, full feature of it in it, which is really, really cool. So it's for you, Sean. Not the Sean behind the camera, but another Sean. Yeah, imagine just having your car for like 10 years and then finding it on the front cover of an AutoWorks magazine.
That's gold.
So, it is kind of cool that me buying a lot of these magazines, because a lot of cars came to Ireland that were actually finding evidence of all these cars in Japan. There's another magazine on the way for another one of our friends, and his car is on the cover of it. So like, that's really cool. Imagine that. So yeah, Random AutoWorks from like 2004. And his car's on the cover of it, and he lives like 10 minutes from here.
Shit.
What a head fuck.
And it was the Altezza for
the
Padraig,
Altezza for Padraig. I also got, so there's no point in opening this because it's right here. Me and you got that each. Legend of Tour V. So basically this is a Drift Tengoku special magazine where they pick their favourite 100 JZX 100s that featured in Drift Tengoku magazine over the years, and they just make a book about it. So I made you buy this because it's very cool. I actually have the 86 one and the 180SX one. I bought them in Japan, and I don't know why I didn't buy this one, but now I own it. So dangerous.
Boom. Good.
So these are the Hyper Revs. I think it's all 3 of them. The 8.6 ones. I'm probably just going to sell on the double copies. I just wanted the whole set. I couldn't find it on its own, the one I wanted. So, a funny story. I actually bought the middle one, 71 on eBay, and it got lost in the post because of COVID. So, I found the full set for the same price I paid for one of them on eBay. So I bought the whole set. It's basically like all the parts and all the catalogue stuff that's available for Levins and Trinos at the time it was published, with spotlights on shops and cars, really nice cars, stuff about Initial D, just everything to do with the 8.6. You've seen Sean's ones there for the JZX series, same thing, Hyper Revs, so same thing, all the tuning shops that were out at the time, all the parts that are available, and a little backstory on some of the cars. So watch, boom, these all came up as well.
Wow.
I got volume 68, well 4 of them, they don't really go in chronological order, but another collection of magazines that I've always wanted. So they've actually made a lot of these for the S chassis, which is fucking mad. Whatever was out at the time. The S15, the Sylvia ones are really thick, but just spotlights on shops, cars that were out at the time, exhausts, everything. So I have nowhere to put any of this stuff because I've run out of space at home, but I keep buying stuff because I'm a moron. And I have more stuff coming in the next container. I have to stop buying magazines. See, it's very dangerous working in a place where we have access to all this stuff. It's bad. Our money never leaves JDM Distro most of the time.
Even Stephen's been roped in.
Yeah, even my younger brother Stephen is now roped in.
Why did you show me them sides?
It's kind of like addictive. More. Bunch of Autoworks. Autoworks is one of my favourite magazines. They stopped printing it in maybe 2000 and I'd say 8 or 9, and it became, it's nice, became this magazine. So Autoworks became G-Works. The stuff from the 90s, like all the kind of more modern stuff, kind of died in its popularity, circuit racing and drag racing and stuff. So they revamped the magazine and called it G-Works, and it focused more on the old-timer stuff and more of the old school builds. But I've noticed with G-Works over the last couple of years, they've started doing more and more of the Autoworks stuff that they used to do. So yeah, I was a big fan of Autoworks, but I've bought an absolute another box of G-Works. I really like them. It's like the Grassroots magazine that's more focused on just kind of home builds, where Option is kind of more focused on bigger shops and stuff. But G-Works is really cool. Yeah, I can't wait to go through all these. It's going to take me a long time to get through all of this stuff. I've had a little bit more of a disposable income this year, being trapped in lockdown for, well, last year, for being trapped most of the year at home. Publishing company that publishes Option and Drift Tengoku and stuff, they purchased G-Works because it has the same publisher. That's so insane. Like, there is a lot of ads and stuff in here, but there's a lot of quality in there as well. The ads are so cool. I mean, back then they were probably kind of just a generic thing because it was just something that's for sale. But as you look back now, look, it's just shown the creation of like the Bride Zetas and, oh man, I don't know. I absolutely love this stuff. This is just a varied box of options. Look, this one's from 1992. Look, brand new ad for the Alto Works. Yeah, these caught my eye on the auctions. There's another option from 1992. Look at that thing. It's fucking awesome.
I love that.
Isuzu Bighorn. I love all the old artwork on these. Man, if I had the money, I would buy as much of this stuff as I can. I just get such a rush out of reading these. I don't know what it is. I've always been a magazine guy. I'm in my 30s, so I grew up collecting car magazines. So having the opportunity to start collecting all these Japanese car magazines has been a real treat over the last year.
Hello.
What's this?
Another fucking magazines.
What? Drift magazine set. Box is fucking mangled.
I'm just gonna go open it now.
Yeah, just be aggressive with it, it's okay. Whoa, look at all that Japanese newspaper someone's going to want. I don't know what to say really. I've just bought way too much shit over the last year. And I bought all this stuff during lockdown when I wasn't commuting to work. So I had like an extra like fucking 400 or 500 euros just to spend on magazines that I would never have otherwise.
This is never ending stuff.
Yes, a little crinkle there. I'll have to straighten them out.
Yeah, the whole lot of them are kind of that way.
Yeah, the box was fucking mangled. Jesus. I think this is all from 2016 to 2019 Drift Tengoku.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. You haven't noticed by now, I have a bit of an obsessive personality and I get really into stuff. And when I said I was going to go collect all the magazines last year, because I just had, I don't know, extra money from not going out on the beer with my mates and not travelling and stuff, I just said I'd collect magazines. I tried to justify it to you, but anyone that's into cars, you fucking know what it's like to be buying stuff. You know, I've got no kids, I've got no real overheads at the moment, so I can be stupid for another year or two. And this is the result of the stupidity. So in a few months, I should have pretty much most of the Drift Tengoku collection. It's kind of cool to document drifting from the mid-90s all the way up to present date. So what's nice is people buy the full collection of magazines and then they sell it off on Yahoo as a collection. So I try to buy a complete set of magazines so I don't have to do it. And yeah, it's up to last year. Well, sorry, I keep forgetting we're in 2021. So I'll have to eventually track down 2020. But I think I've got enough fucking magazines for now. It's like I'm trying to start the like European. Well, no, because I know other people that have big collections, but it's like the Irish history of Japanese car stuff. So you can come on down to my house when COVID's over and I'll charge you 50 cents and you can come in and look at the illustrated history of Japanese car culture from like the mid-90s to present day. I don't know what we'll call it. The Juice Box Japanese Car Museum. And I have more coming in the next container. I need to cool down. I've got to stop buying stuff. Finish my fucking 8.6. Isn't it fun? I've been starving myself for all this shit and there's no need for it. Like, cutting down on spending on nice things so I can just buy loads of fucking stupid magazines. Is it a sickness? Possibly.